All right, people, welcome back to the channel. This is the new channel that we are actually establishing. So if you see this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Now, this is a long-standing conversation that has been happening for years, decades upon decades. Um, and it's quite interesting because once a Jamaican athlete runs fast, American fan base indicates that it is drugs. When a American athlete runs fast, then similar sentiments is echoed. Now, it always put me in a state where I want to say, yo, can we just watch track and field and just stop talk about the drugs? Because when you look at it, both nations have been caught in drug issues, athletes testing positive. And of course, every athlete indicate their innocence, and every athlete indicate that, I have not willfully taken this sort of substance. Some persons took painkillers, some persons have asthma, and the list goes on. Yeah. But I just want to put this conversation out there to establish this channel. And I will hasten to say that since this drug thing is an issue and everybody is always trying to be better than someone, people try to get the better coaches, people try to get the better equipment, people try to get the better um, medical aid, recovery method. All of these are advantages in track and field. And it's the one that has the better support system normally gets ahead. And people talk about drugs and all of these things. You know what me say? To conclude this, if you just leave people to take what they want to take, because the fan base always gonna come out. If you know, say, if you take something, it's gonna affect you. Why you do it? And you know why I don't think the drugs is so much of a difference, because anybody can just start take drugs and just say, all right, me I go run. Will they win that race? No, I don't think so. They'll have to be working. So people always put the effort and the work of the coach and the athlete in the back of the seat or in the back seat, because you can't just take the drug and you run fast. That is something I don't agree with. But I just want to give a little background on this whole thing, because drugs in track and field, it is nothing new. Like I said before, the use of performance enhancing drugs, which they call PEDs, in track and field has been a long-standing issue, affecting athlete, the integrity of the sport, and public trust. And it tends to bring some sort of division among the fans. So when you look at performance enhancement drugs, these are substances that improve athletes' performance and recovery. You have anabolic steroids, which basically build muscle mass, and strength. EPO boosts blood cell production for endurance. HGH, which is human growth hormone, that pretty much aids in recovery and muscle growth. You have some things that they call stimulant, which increase the alertness, and it pretty much helps you to what you call it now, reduce your fatigue, so you not feel overly fatigued and you recover quicker. You have diuretics or masking agents. These are used to hide other drugs in drug tests. So there are several ways how people try to go against the system. Their famous drug scandal includes Ben Johnson. He was stripped because Ben Johnson used steroids. Yeah. Marion Jones admitted to use steroids as well. Justin Gatlin served 2 bans for doping. Later returned to competition, Justin Gatlin. You have the Russian doping scandal, which is a state-sponsored thing. Doping system was exposed, leading to several bans, and even up until now, there's a stigma surrounding Russia. People pretty much dope for because they feel the need to win because of what? Pressure from their surrounding environment. People do it because of financial gain or incentives. You know what I mean? People also do it because of injuries. Yes, they use it for injury recovery. You know what I mean? Leaving pretty much some people feel like they should do it because they think that they're actually leveling the playing field. Yeah, because others are doping. Can you imagine? Yeah, but World Athletics and well, WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, pretty much they have set a certain global standards for testing and banned substance. They do random testing, in competition testing. They have what you call something that was recently implemented. It is a biological passport, which tracks changes in blood parameters over time, right? So that is something that has been recently been used to, backtrack some of these results. Now, if you get there are several consequences for athletes who actually dope. Yeah, you put yourself at risk, and this is the part that I was talking. If persons know that when you take these substances, it is going to actually put you at risk, why take it? And why the water is so concerned? If a person believes that them are go no say them take this, it can cause problem, leave them alone. This might sound absurd, but I mean, they're adults, right? Because some of these drugs can give you a heart problem, hormonal imbalance, psychological effects. It can damage your career. You can get suspension, your stripper, your title, your loss of endorsement, the credibility of the sport, and the fans now gonna trust the sport. Legacy is gonna be diminished and all of these things. So these are some of the consequences, and if these are the consequences, if a man do it, them does. I think though, what they can do is to step up these testing things. Because one time, what I heard, that 7-Up has the same pH as urine, and they used to urinate, go in the cubicle and urinate and come out, and you have them 7-Up and just put it in the content, in the container, sorry. And these people will not be tested positive. That's why I know when you're being tested, if you're a man, the tester have to see you take out the tool and see it a dangle, and the urine actually come from the tool. For the female, you have to open up, and the tester have to see the urine coming from the area that it should come from, right? So even if ladies are on their cycle, that doesn't matter. You have to open up and do it in front of them. And that is kind of corny still, but I mean, that is the way forward. You understand? I mean, they have put a lot of things in place to try, do this thing. They try to educate the athletes. Like I said, they try to, improve the testing technology, which, it is something that I still think needs to be improved more and more and more, especially the fast results. Yeah, we need something like that, because from what I've heard, the athletes them find a way to beat the system, The amount of things with them take with 24 hours and all of these things. You understand? They need to put in probably stricter enforcement, sanctions, and all of these things. To ensure that the sport is, clean. Now, when you look at countries who have athletics violation for like since 2000 and 2000 to present, Russia has the most. Seeing Russia is leading. Between 2000 and 2013, Russia accounted for 10.4% of the elite doping cases in water track sports. Seeing? And that is crazy. Russia a lead. Guess who that second? Kenya. Yeah, man. Kenyan athletics fail doping tests like whoa. Mostly in the track events. India is also in the big thicker things. 108 bans, second only to Kenya in athletics violation. You see me? Turkey is also there among the top offending countries in athletics during 2013 to 2015 with 53 athletics alone. Then you have China. China is also there. Italy is also there. South Africa, Ukraine, and the big bad United States. Cross-country studies from 2000 to 2013 indicate that doping cases reveal that US is ranked second to Russia in elite doping incidents. Make that soak. Ethiopia completes the top 10. I wonder where Jamaica there. Since they're always talking about Jamaica, where is Jamaica in the top 10? And this is not to brag and to boast that Jamaica, some of Jamaica's athletes have never been tested positive. I am not saying that, but we are not ranked in the top 10. So this notion of every time a Jamaican athlete run fast, oh, Jamaica take drugs. Oh, Jamaica take drugs. No, this need to stop. And for the same reason, I remember, people, you see why US will always be spoken of in terms of Jamaica, and Jamaica will always be spoken of in terms of US. Remember, US have the Balco scandal. Them have a lab. Remember, the US anti-doping agency collude with a whole lot of things that is in the media as well. Remember, see it? And una go say Jadco do this and Jadco reveal certain things too. And yes, we have a few athletes that were tested positive. Yes, so that is always going to be the case going forward and going forward. But if we want to settle the score, I would say who have the most? And that what I say no. Who have the most? Between Jamaica and US, who have the most? Tottenham, man, who have the most violators? Whether it is positive testing, whereabout, and all other things pertaining to pertaining to testing. And when you look on the wider scope, and I'm trying my best not to pick side, but it is mind-boggling why it is the US that is always pulling up information about drugs. Why? Everything Jamaica do. Kishian start run fast, Kishian are under drugs. Shelly under drugs. Ilian under drugs. Sherika under drugs. Them soon start say this athlete under drug, that athlete. Listen to me, no man. Is it that no conscience a bother or no? You know that your athlete run fast because of past situations. Come on. Stop acting as if you people are perfect. Stop acting and pointing fingers when you guys literally owns the pharmacy. When you guys literally own the pharmacies, please, it's not a good look for, and you put a damp on the sport. Once an athlete run fast, oh, it's drugs. So what are these new technological advancements, the unconventional methods that are being used now? So we should not trust the mental or the acumen of the coach, the astuteness of the coaches. We should not trust these physio therapists. We should not touch these physical therapists. Why did they go to school then? To learn these things, to ensure that you can manipulate muscles, to ensure that you can, get into some deep tissue areas so that you can help athletes to recover with these new technologies. If the new technologies of recovering is not working, remember one of the reason why people take drugs is because of what? Injury recovery. So you're telling me that these new injury recovery tools that are being used, them full of drugs too? Come on, man. If we don't rate the sport, then we constantly are going to talk about drugs in the sport. And of course, we want to eradicate the drugs, but don't jump to conclusion without evidence. Because somebody had inadequacies in the past does not necessarily mean that futuristically these athletes that are doing well now are taking drugs. Time and time again, when Jamaican athletes do well, the first thing people say is that they're on drugs. No need to stop it, make the sport thrive. When the US athletes are running, you don't hear nothing. We normally bring up these things when we are provoked. The Jamaicans bring up these kind of arguments when the US fan base bring it up, when they provoke us. And it needs to stop. Can we just all get along and prove it on the track? You beat me on the track, I beat you on the track. Remember, say people have mental health issues now, and they are taking stuff and having what them call something now where you put on it say your exemption. I don't remember the acronym that they use for it right now. So what are we saying? These athletes are allowed to, and when other athletes don't and perform better, you're saying that they're on. Come on, man. Come on. That's why I'm saying, better we just open up a gate, open up the pharmacy to everybody. Make the best chemist win, because it look like that don't want the sport go to. Because everybody they on drugs, so? Nah, man. I don't believe that the Americans are on drugs. I don't believe the Jamaicans are on drugs. And I won't believe until I have evidence. If an athlete is being tested and they're constantly moving ahead without failing that drug test, I will never say the athlete is on drugs. There's no proof. And we're living in an age where you need evidence to go to court. Evidence is very, very important in taking a case to court. So why we just talk out our slit? Come on, man. Make the sport nice, man, and always come with these things to damper. Dig up history, dig up the bones, the white bones of US and the white bones of Jamaica. Come on. Look on the other countries them where lead US and Jamaica. Nobody now talk about them. Oh, because of sprinting. Oh, you don't want the sprint domination. Okay, and when little Jamaica come up on a sprint well, a jogs. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes. May I understand? It is very distasteful. I think it is outplayed. You rinse out some song till the song does when you hear it again and have to move. You rinse it. Nothing left in it. You wring it dry. You remix it. You refix it. You do all a re. So this song lose its essence and its flavor. I want to drop the argument there now, man. Make we do the work on the track, man. Make we fight on the track. You feel me? Yeah, man. Big up on yourself. Who have an ear to hear, make them hear. And guess what? You might not agree with everything I'm saying at this, But again, it's your opinion versus my opinion. See it? And that's our next thing what we need to address. People present their opinion and you want to shoot it down for them to swallow your opinion that is not factual. Say no more. Big up on yourself.